All right. We're live for stream number 2 for the day. Look at this. I have a friend who joined me. Hi. You want to say hi? Say hi to people. Hi, people. Hi. uh, all right. So this stream, um, I'm just gonna do something random. I didn't plan anything for this stream. I mean, I don't plan any of the streams, but um, I just decided we'll do some Azure 104. We're going to study whatever people are interested in. Let me just, yeah. So I think we already did some storage. Did we do backup monitor, virtual networks? What else? Identities. I think we were doing a lot of identities. Yeah, storage. We did the file sync last time. Um, oh, it's here. Okay, sorry, it's at the bottom. Um, Describe core Azure concepts, services. Um, what? Describe general security. Blah blah blah. Am I not in this thing? All right. Let's see this. The Azure fundamentals. Let's do. Maybe we'll do Azure fundamentals today. Core concepts. Let's start this. Let's do core concepts today. Okay. What is cloud compute? Yeah, okay. If this is going to be. Yeah, let's not do core concepts. Oh, hey, here they are. That's what I was looking for. Um, I'm not used to have it like zoomed in that much. Blob storage, storage security, files and file sync, storage with tools, Azure Storage Explorer, easy copy, create an Azure storage account. Yeah, so if anyone has suggestions, I'll take any suggestions anyone may have. Grant control with shared access signature and storage explorer. Okay. Is my storage explorer even up to date? Let's at least update storage explorer for now. Because probably I haven't used it in a while. 121.3. Let's see. Dismiss. Check for updates and let's see if we have anything. Okay. What do I feel like? Well, let's talk about storage security. Let's do this. Let's do storage security. We'll do this later. Okay. Hey, thanks for joining. All right. Your company has sensitive data, including personal information. The data is used internally and by external application developers. You need to ensure the data is secured. Okay. Are you late? You are not late. I just started 4 minutes ago. Still trying to figure out what we're doing. I just figured we'd do some security today. No, keep with the theme of the morning. All right. Security strategies, so encryption to make sure that you can't access it through sideways authentication, encryption in transit through HTTPS and SMB3, encryption again, and shared access signature. Okay, so these are your options for security. It's encrypting your data. So, if it's encrypted, nobody can read it. And I'll have a story about encryption. You can, I think another thing, yeah, storage security strategies. I think another thing that they're not putting in there in terms of strategy for security is antivirus, right? Um, Even though you would do authentication, data in transit, encryption, and all that stuff, you should scan your resources with Azure um, Advanced Threat Protection because, viruses. Um, but one funny story about this from work. Um, we have a backup system that backs up to Azure Blob Storage. It backs up, it creates encrypted backups for the whole infrastructure. So we're talking about tens of terabytes, I think 90 terabytes worth of data backed up. And we have Storage Explorer, um, Advanced Threat Protection, Azure Advanced Threat Protection on our storage accounts, and it scans all the data that comes in. But because it's encrypted, basically, none of the data is readable or would be can even be classified as malware. So you can imagine that when you have encryption and you have hundreds of terabytes, well, tens of terabytes or whatever, almost 100 terabytes, being written on a regular basis to a storage account, all being scanned. And because you pay for the time it takes to scan it, it adds up to a lot of money. So if you put your data encrypted in there, make sure you disable your antivirus scan because, well, you're going to pay for something that you know will never return a positive result. So, little free um, gift there. Also, if you use systems like FileSync where you have an antivirus on your server, you don't need to pay for scans. It's not there, but just an FYI, since I think about this. Authentication, yeah, it's good that now for storage accounts, you can authenticate using Azure Active Directory, so you can do um, grant access without having to give out the keys. Encryption in transit, yes, this encryption. Shared access signature is great because it allows you to share permissions, share access through a key and shared access signature to somebody and limit things like time and scope of the permissions. Um, all right, authorization options. So you have Azure Active Directory, shared key. That's the um, primary and secondary keys of your storage account. This is like full God mode permissions to your storage account. Shared access signature, that's the one where you can control who has access to what and how long and what resource. And anonymous access means anybody can access your data. Yeah. So not it's only read. So that would be a website, for example. Anybody can read the HTML page on your server, but can't necessarily modify anything. Sorry about that. Oh, yeah. Let's do this. Let's create. I'm gonna I'm gonna put it in VNet. That's from the previous live stream. Let's do a storage account, and then we'll go through creating shared access signatures and do all the authentication and all that stuff. Now you're doing this one. You just So inconsistent, Microsoft. So inconsistent. You know what? AZ-104. That's where you gotta go. Sorry about that. Um, LRS is plenty. We don't need a premium performance. API, public blog access. Um, access to your hot, large file share, SFTP. Yeah, no, I'm fine. Networking, we're good. Encryption. All right, let's create this. If at any point I do something that you're like, what is Carolyn doing? Oh, sorry. You. Sorry, 1 second. Dogs. All right, let's create this. I was thinking of editing these live streams for moments just like these, where the dogs are barking and I have to mute myself, and you just have um, a little bit of time where I just move my mouth and you don't know what I'm saying. So, yeah, I'm probably gonna do that. I downloaded all of them. I'm just gonna have to do them. That's gonna take hours and hours and hours to do. But I think it's gonna be worth it for everybody. How is everybody's weekend going? All right, give me a second. All right. Okay, cool. So access here. We're at access. Let's do a shared access signature. Um, and I think one thing you can create is a shared access signature for one specific file, which is quite awesome if you ask me. Um, I've done something like this. I've done it in S3. Have I done it in AWS S3? I think I've done it in storage accounts, but it's great because you can just have a website and serve content in the backend. No, I have done it in Azure. You can have a website. Boris is here. We can start. I'm kidding. um, but you can have the great thing, especially if you do AZ-204 with shared access signature, and you want to give access to a file, right? You're generating a file for a user, and you want to give them access to download it for things like through things like Azure Functions, because Azure Functions, at least in .NET, Azure Functions in .NET, when I've done it, do not support returning files. So the trick you do is you use a shared access signature where you say you will have access for a day to this specific file, and you just have permission to read this one file. It's very powerful because you can give, when you develop an application, a user access to a specific thing without granting access to your whole thing. I think this is just It's just so cool to me, as somebody who does applications. Um, yeah, I think shared access signature are just so powerful, for sure. It's so at so many levels. But yeah, so basically you take you say, okay, you're allowed to do files, right? We're gonna say you can only access file shares, right? And then um, you can say you can only access the object, the file. You can't access the container, right? Or the service or whatever. We'll say you can access everything. Now we're gonna say um, I'm going to show you something. We're going to use that. Okay, so now we're accessing it from, yeah, a couple hours, 12 hours ish, 7 hours, 8 hours. I don't know math. I think that's 8 hours, and then we can say you can only read or delete files, right? That's such an odd thing to do. Um, let's just do blobs actually, and we'll give you just read and delete access. Zero edition version. Allow blob index permission. What is this? Whatever, we'll do this HTTP only, and we're going to generate this key, right? And now we have a connection string. And feel free to steal that connection string, because you know what? You only have read access and delete access, two files that I don't care about, right? Um, and and so like it's not a big deal. And um, oh, storage accounts of service, and then we do the share access signature. Darlin without an N. Service URL. I think that's this that we need. We add it here. SPI is required. So what this is here. Why do I need I? Oh, because I need list. I think I need list, actually. At least. It might not be an I, it might be an L. Okay, yeah, it needs list permission so you can actually see what's in there. Next, connect. And here we have our storage account. Caroline. And there's really nothing else in here. So let's go back to our storage explorer. And here I will put a file. Let me see, do I have a file? Yeah, let's do from the previous one. Blob containers. We're gonna add a container. Test. Let's create that. We're going to upload. We're going to. Where did you go, files? There you go. I'm going to. I have it on the other screen. E. All right, upload this file. Upload. All right, it's here. Now, let's go back to our storage explorer. Blob containers. Listed, we see test. Right? This is all through the key, and we see this. Now, because we have a key that only gives us list, read, delete, let's give that a shot, and let's see if we can upload anything, right? Let's, okay, upload files. Oh, see, actually, it did it here. Right here, I can't really zoom in. But at the bottom, see, it says insufficient credentials. So if you have this key, right, if you take it and see for yourself, you'll see that you can not do anything but read. So now I can open this. Can I just open it here? Guess it's transferring, it's doing the download. Yeah, I'm sure I want to open it. What are you using to open? All right, I don't know what it's using to open. It's just being weird. But let's see. Yeah, come on, open bigger. All right, and now I can do delete. Right, I have permissions to do this, in theory. Ta-da! So, I mean, I find it funny that you can just give a delete permission. It's such an odd thing to do, but and if we refresh here, it's gone. I could see this being like, hey, we have these files for you. Please remove whatever you don't need, you know, type of thing. Don't add anything there, but please remove what you don't need. And you could give easy permissions like this. All right, so we've done this. And we've looked at this. We've created a shared as an access signature. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So let's look at the URL. So, okay, we have the basic. Where did it go? Oh, I don't have it anymore. Once you one thing to keep in mind: once you create the SAS key and you exit out, you can't get it back. You have to recreate it. Not a big deal, but you can't find the same key again. Like it's a one-time thing, right? So not a big deal. You can create as many as you want, but yeah. All right. So you have the core properties, right? And the core service. This is like the storage account, the blob, the core, the Windows.net, blah blah blah. This is the storage service version for like API type of thing. The services you have access to here, blob files. So SS equals service. Resource type, service, resource type. This is just the service level. Otherwise, it's SCO, right? Full access to everything. Start time when you have access to the thing. Expiry time when you can't use it anymore. Hello. Permissions that you have that are granted to you through the thing. The range of IP address that are allowed to do it. The protocol permissions and the signature. I find it very weird that, I mean, I get it that they do it this way because technically, if you have the key, all this data should be encoded in the key. But to Microsoft credit, the good thing is you can read a URL like this and understand what is happening. So it's good. Let's recreate a key ourselves and let's look at what this gives us. Let's do everything. We're going to do everything. 192.168.2.2. Right now, my IP address that I'm. Let's do this. Generate SAS connection. All right. See, you have one per service, right? Let's see. What can I use to show you this in a bigger version? Let's see if it's like opening like a billion uh, windows. Oh no, you know what? I can use code. Let's use code. What is happening here? Come on. This is just one of these mornings today, where life is like, nah, not gonna cooperate. All right. Hi, and thank you. I appreciate. Is it showing? Is it not showing? Come on. I appreciate the feedback. Thank you very much. All right. Let's look at this. All right. Let's. I'm trying to zoom in. Sorry about that. Oh, I did it good. For some reason, my computer is lagging right now. It's just I'm being too demanding of it. Are you too hot? Yep. I don't know what's happening. Let me know if I'm lagging on your side. Um, I'm trying to get this zoomed in. Come on. Yeah, I'm pretty sure those get. I'm pretty sure those can be shortened. Yeah, 100%. Why is it laggy? All right. Let's see. Final Cut Pro doesn't to be open. Is somebody using a lot of memory? She's using a lot of memory. Oh God. Look at this. Look at this. Memory pressure. Electron. I would quit a lot of Google Chrome tabs, but one of those will end the live stream. So I will avoid doing that. Um, let's see if we can get this down to a manageable level. I would quit Electron too, but I think that's Visual Studio Code. I have no idea what's happening here. All right. Okay, whatever. I don't know if I can zoom in more. All right, we're gonna keep it like this. I think we're giving up. Okay. All right. So here, let's look at the URL ourselves. Let's separate it ourselves, and I would recommend you do this exercise yourself so you can like see what it is. So this is the this is the resource, right? This is the API version, storage version, right? This is the services we can access. This comment, right? So, so this is e equals blob. F equals files, Q equals Q, and T equals tables, right? Okay. Now SRT, um, this is the service resources services type of thing. I'm not sure if that's what it means. So this is S equals service, C equals container, um, and O equals object, right? Okay, this is permissions. Okay, so let's actually do it this way. This one. Okay. Do it this way. So read, write, delete, list. Where's A? Sorry, I'm trying. Add, create, update. Add, create, update. There's permissions on this one. Process and storage. IPFX, I don't know what this is. I think this is something new that there's a lot. So I'm gonna say I don't know. SE. Um, this is the end. Oops. Yeah, I don't know whether this is the end, but this is end time. This is start time. All right. This is IP addresses allowed. Protocols. HTTPS and HTTP. And this is the signature. Yeah. So there we go. That's the whole thing for you. So I hope this helps. I would recommend perhaps you do this on your own at home, create things like this. I don't know how much they're gonna ask you this in the AZ-104 exam to just look at the URL and be like, oh yeah, this is what this is. Um, but it could come in handy to be able um, to just look at a URL like this and a shared access signature and realize, oh, you're missing this permission, right? You're missing the right permission or whatever. So highly recommend you do this exercise of going through one of your shared access signature and trying to break it down, trying to understand all the parts. N%, see these N% are query. This question mark means so URL encoding. Question mark means beginning of a query. N% means other query parameters. Simple. So, all right. Where did you go? Did I lose my Azure? I did. It's right here. Okay. So we went through this exercise. I may have put too much emphasis in this one particular part, but hey, it's important, I guess. All right, encryption data arrest protects data by ensuring your organizational security compliance are met. It automatically encrypts your data before persisting it to Azure managed disk, blob files, whatever. So it's always encrypted. Your data. If there's a question, data always encrypted per your storage account. So it's encryption per storage account. Um, but if you want, you are able to overwrite the keys and say, you know what? I don't trust this Microsoft guy. I'm going to do my own keys. I'm going to give you the keys you're going to use to encrypt the data because I'm better than you. Sorry about the dogs. All right, so, all right, let's manage keys. You probably need a key vault. Thank you. Yeah, I did my certification last June, March. I don't know, one of these. There's a video somewhere on my channel about this. But yeah, it's good. It's good. I was telling the story in the previous live stream that I was learning about a different concept, managed identities, earlier last week. And all week, this concept actually came up with managing access through managed identities. So I'm not a big fan of certifications personally. I think the piece of paper is useless, but the knowledge you gain is invaluable, I think. Yeah, okay, so you can, when you create managed keys, you can either put a URL, right, to be like, hey, this is where my key is, go get it every time you want, or you have a key vault. So if you're not familiar with a key vault, it's basically a password manager for Azure and resources that resources can access. So, yeah, exactly. I think the knowledge is great. The piece of paper does not grant you anything else. I had a debate with my boss about this. He was like, "No, you need a piece of paper." I'm like, Getting the piece of paper is easy. You can always get a brain dump, learn all the questions by heart, regurgitate the answers, and get the piece of paper. Uh, the knowledge is a different story. But at the same time, how do you know you have the knowledge without the piece of paper? Catch 22, catch 21. I don't know what number you catch, but it's one of those numbers. Is it catch 22? I have to look it up. No. Better thing, catch 22. Okay. Okay. Apply storage security best practices. When you use shared access signatures in your applications, you should be aware of the potential risks. If a size is compromised, it can be used by anyone who obtains it. If a size provided to a client application expires and the application is unable to retrieve a new SAS from your service, shared access signature, then the application's functionality may be hindered. Yes, true. You can't, and that's what I was saying. You can't retrieve a SAS signature. You have to do a new one. Um, Unless you saved it, you can't retrieve it. Um, always use HTTPS to create or distribute a SAS. Exactly. Catch vendor. If a SAS is passed over HTTP and intercepted, an attacker could intercept and use the SAS. Man in the middle attack can compromise sensitive data. Yeah, don't use HTTP. Just that it's 2022. There's no reason to not use HTTPS. So would there be a reason to use HTTP over HTTPS besides laziness and not wanting to put a certificate? Um, yeah, I hate websites who don't have HTTPS. If if a website doesn't have HTTPS, I leave immediately. Even if it's like to look at a restaurant menu, I'm like, nah, you're not putting effort into it. Go away. Um, okay. Reference stored access policies where possible. Stored access policies gives you the option to revoke permissions without having to regenerate storage account keys. Set the storage account key expiration date far out in the future. Stored access policies. Ooh. See, okay. And okay. An account level SaaS can delegate access to multiple storage servers, i.e., blah. Note that stored access policies are currently not supported for account level SaaS. Okay. All right. Let's look at this. Access policy. Carolyn will have permission read. And start time now. End time. End time tomorrow. Okay. And let's save this. Shared access token. Stored policies, Carolyn. Generate SaaS. Oh, cool. I just learned something new. So yeah, you can have a SaaS and then you basically give the key to somebody, and then if you're like, whoa, buddy, I don't trust you no more, you can just go in your access policies, be like, delete, and boom. So that's actually pretty awesome. I did not know about that, the access policies. Maybe I missed it during my certification, but that's quite a neat little thing. You can just be like, just give access to a vendor, right? We're going to give you access for the next 10 years to this data because we don't know how long we're going to be using you. But we also don't want to give you access. We don't want to give you an account. We don't want to give you the primary and secondary keys because it's a pain. We can't rotate them if we give them to you, blah, blah, blah. But we can give you a shared access token with a policy on it. And we say, this signature ends in 10 years, right? But if we stop using the vendor, what you can do is be like, all right, you have the URL, you have the access, but I can revoke the access here and here. I can revoke your access here by removing the access policy. This is distracting me. And yeah, Netflix is for AZ-500. We're talking about application gateways. So that's pretty cool. Hi, I am okay. Could be better. I'm okay. Just long week, long weekend, and yeah. But I'm excited. I love doing these streams, especially like when I learn new things like this. It's so much fun. Just I don't know. Yeah, but that Severance is depressing. Like now, I want to know what happens. I want to know. It's no, not okay. And next week is the end. It's just not acceptable. Ben Stiller, If you're if you're Ben Stiller, if you're watching this video, if you're on the live stream, huh? Learning about AZ-104, why you do this? And please tell me there's a season two. Um, wouldn't it be something? Ben Stiller just be like, you know what? I really want to learn about AZ-104, and I'm just gonna go to this random YouTuber and I'm just gonna look at this. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe he wants to make a movie about cloud computing in Azure. Um, who knows? But anyway, different topic. Let's go back to our learning. Uh, use near term expiration. I learned today in Azure that we can't stop Azure SQL database temporarily. It's one solution. One solution is to use SQL database serverless. Yeah. Yep. Um. Yep. That's a great advantage with serverless. It's like, yeah, it will turn itself off. So expensive. The all these always on services are ridiculously expensive, especially for a user, for a person, non company. Um, serverless is great. I think serverless is the technology of the future. That's the technology that's going to enable everyone to have um, serverless is the technology that's going to enable everybody to have access to compute and enterprise grade resources at a fraction of the cost. Um, it is just wonderful. Like a website in Azure, blob storage. The cost of hosting a website in Azure is so ridiculously cheap. Um, I mean, obviously, if you know how to write your own code, but I will always remember once upon a time when I was 15, I wanted to do a website because I thought that was cool. And at the time, you really had to go to a web hosting service and pay them web website, yeah, web hosting service, and pay them to have the the service. And you're talking like $10 a month type of service. You still have those people, those services there, and maintaining a database, right? To have access to, I think their PHP needs a database or something, or you need to install the version of PHP on the server so it can process things. Um, but anyway, now with serverless, like if nobody visits your website, it's free. Um, but anyway, it's a different topic. I could go on and on, but I think it's super cool. I love this comment. I had to delete the whole server because it didn't know about it. Yep. You can't change from a full dedicated instance to serverless. Who knows? Maybe one day they will come up with a way of doing this. But yeah. Okay, let's go back to our shared access signature again. Um, yeah, near term expiration on an unplanned SaaS. So it's yeah, so it's good. That's what I was saying earlier, like being able to create a SaaS for just a file download and say, okay, you have like 10 minutes to download this file based on your connection, and just give them access to the data for this amount of time. Um, it's great, so people can just be like downloading periodically. You can then control how much data goes in and out of your storage account. Um, have clients automatically renew the SaaS if necessary. Clients should renew the SaaS well before expiration date. Renewing earlier allows time for retries if the service providing SaaS isn't available. Um, be careful with SaaS start time. Yeah, if you set the SaaS start time to now due to clock skew differences in current time according to different machines, failure may be observed intermittently for the first few minutes. In general, set the start time to be at least 10-15 minutes in the past. Yes, I have run into this issue. I was like, why is this not working? That is why. Um, just machines having different clocks. I just you would think that all the computers in the world have the same clock, right? The same time, but no, they don't. Um, and just yeah. Anyway, be specific with the resource to be accessed. Yes, limit the scope. Understand that your account will be built for any usage, including that the one done with SaaS. Yes, SaaS doesn't mean that just because you give access to somebody else pays for it. Um, yep. So basically, what they're saying is, if you have SaaS, it's somebody external. Be careful. Understand how you're going to control the access to the person who has access to the SaaS key. Um, be careful about how they're going to renew the SaaS key and all that stuff. So, all right, now let's check. Let's do this. A company uses Azure Storage accounts for. Am I renewing my 104? I am not renewing my 104. It expires next year. I'm on the 2 year schedule for this one. I'm doing this just for you, but I am also picking topics related to security because I am doing AZ-500. And the way I see it is, if I can put topics that overlap with other certifications, with topics that overlap with my certification, we all win. So that's what I'm doing. Security, reviewing security topics on other certifications is very valuable. And I just learned about the access policy. I didn't know about that. So, yeah. But in terms of 104, I'm not renewing it this year. All right. A company uses an Azure storage account for storing large numbers of video and audio files. Containers store each type of file, and access should be limited to those files. Additionally, these files can only be accessed through shared access signatures. The company wants to be able to revoke access to the files and to change the period for which users can access the files. Which of the following will be the easiest to meet the requirements? De rien, c'est mon plaisir. Ça me fait plaisir de faire ça pour vous. Donc, ouais, pas de problème. Okay, which one is easiest to meet the requirements? Create a size for each user and delete the size to prevent access. No. Implement stored access. I'm going to do my thing. I'm going to explain why. If you create a size for each user, right, if you imagine you have thousands of users, that's 1,000 keys. And every time somebody leaves, you have to delete the key. And, well, actually, no, because you cannot delete a SaaS key, right? So if somebody has it, you cannot revoke it. You cannot revoke a SaaS key. So no, not a solution. Just this is ridiculous. Creating one per user is ridiculous, more or less. Deleting it, you can't. Okay. Implement stored access policies for each container to enable revocation of access or change of duration. Yes, that you can do, because you will because then you control, like, you can keep this ASCII, you can keep the signature as a user, but when the user leaves, you can just be like, nope, no more key for you. Periodically regenerate the account key to control access to the files. No, that's not practical, right? That is just, you should regenerate the key every now and then, but yeah, don't do that, because to because you would have to regenerate your key every time an employee leaves or whatever, or needs to have revoked. It's not practical. So this is the access policy per blob. Um, when configuring network access to an Azure storage account, what is the default network rules? To allow all connections from all networks. That is correct. To allow all connections from private IP address range. No, because by default, Azure storage accounts are not on private networks. Um, and even if you, unless you do a private endpoint, which is something that we saw in the previous stream earlier, um, even if you do a private endpoint, um, the only way is to do a private endpoint, right? So if you don't have a private endpoint, you can't tell that it's coming from a private IP address because it basically goes out your network through a public IP address and then comes back down with the public IP address. Deny all connections from all networks. That would be ridiculous. No, you are allowed to access it. Otherwise, you would not be able to access it, right? So, connection from all networks. The company is planning a delegation model for Azure storage. Apps in the production environment must have unrestricted access to storage resources. Which of the following is the best course of action? Use shared access signatures for production apps. Use access keys for production apps. Use stored access policies for production apps. So, because there is a time component in shared access signature and stored access policies, the only option is access keys. Because then access keys grant you full permission to a storage account and they have no time restrictions. Because you could use shared access signatures more or less. Actually, you know what? Because shared access signatures only give you access to, sorry, shared access signatures, stored access policies only give you access to services and data in the storage account. It does not give you access to the storage accounts themselves. So access keys give you access full permission to the whole thing. So that's my answer. And there's no time limitation, so you always have access. Um, let's check the answers. Yeah. Oh wait, no, I wanted to go back. Okay. So you provide unrestricted access to storage resources, which is the requirement. If I do this, let's just go. Oh, okay. Whatever. You know what? Let me just do wrong answers. I wish I would give you the answer, the wrong answer too. Just because you're right doesn't mean you know why you're right. You know. Okay. Shared access signatures are not the best solution for the production app. Why? Why are they not? As my kid would say. Why? Oh, okay. That was the wrong one. Okay. Yeah. That's what we said. Great amount of administrative overhead to manage every SAS key and users and renew when they expire and all that stuff. Just, whew, we did it. We talked about security in storage accounts. I wish they had talked more about RBAC and getting access through Azure Active Directory, but this was good. Shared access signatures, like, great. Do if you have a vendor, do not give them the full keys. This is I'm not sure what you mean by that, but okay. This is done. This I'm not gonna do another one today. These are physically draining, and I have to clean my space. And see this? I was saying earlier. Here, I'm missing lights up here, so I need to do this. I need to do this today. So hopefully we'll have those lights set up for the next video. I already have a hole drilled. Where's it? It's right here, or right here. I think it's right here. I have a hole drilled. Um, who cares? Skip as much as you want. You know, it's a live stream. It's gonna be there. It's gonna be there when we're when this is over, um, and I'm going to do my very best to edit these live streams to make them more dense in content. No dogs barking, no Carolyn saying this is boring, just raw meat without the fat. Um, so, yep. All right, I'm gonna call it for the day. It was fun doing these. I'm looking forward to next week. I will try to be more proactive and tell you what the topics are ahead and when it's happening. Um, I try to do them 9:30 and then 10:30/11, depending on the duration of the previous one. But yeah, otherwise that's gonna be next week, and I will try to record a video this weekend. This week was just not. This week was not a good week for me. No problem, but it just took time. But anyway, I hope everybody enjoys the rest of their weekend, and I'll see you next week. Bye.